Hey guys, welcome back to Figure It Out. My name is Abby, and today we're going to be doing the Sacral reading for today, for this week, from November 5th to November 12th. So Sacral space, what is our blockage, and how can we best heal that space? So this moon in Scorpio is going to be a really good moon to do any type of sex work, sex magic stuff that you guys want to do. Manifestation through sex could be really great as well. Just putting that out there for my peoples that want to try that. I definitely done it and it works very well. So manifesting through sex is one of the most powerful manifestations that you can do body wise. And I definitely recommend trying it if you've never tried it before, because it's definitely going to highlight, this moon is going to highlight a lot of that deep inner work. So, okay, what is our blockage for this week for our sacral space? What is our blockage? That done came out real fast. Okay, 4 of Cups. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? That card has been coming up a lot for me in readings. I'd just be like, okay, what's our blockage? I'll take 3 more cards. Sacral space. Blockage for sacral space. Whoa. All right, 9 of Cups. Yo, all these 9s coming out. Oya is coming out hard. I didn't mention it in the root chakra reading, but this has been, so Oya is an Orisha, and so she's basically, astrologically, if you want to to understand her energy a little bit, she would be Scorpio. That's pretty much what she would embody. She's very much about the death and about her number is also 9, so when it comes up for me, I'm always like when I pay attention to what different deities and goddesses and orishas, like what their numbers are, because then anytime I see it, I'm like, I see what that was. A lot of people it's when you get into numerology, it doesn't always have to, you don't have to combine it, but I like to see what, what numbers are showing up for me. So for that one, Oya is very much, she's like the Tower card, but she's definitely the Death card. She's definitely Scorpio energy. She's transformational energy. A lot of death work. Great for business work as well. And she's very, how do I like to describe working with her? Oya is like, she's fierce. I mean, Scorpio, of course. She's definitely fierce as fuck. She has like this very empowering, anchoring thing about her. She's very, ooh, damn, hold on. Ooh. I hate it when it falls down this way, because it's like, why? Oh wow, okay, that's interesting that that's the card that came out. King of Cups, which is also the card of Scorpio. So our sacral space is gonna be lit. Okay, this is our blockage. So working with her is very much, it's empowering, but it's also very deep. She addresses a lot of things that you might not want to change, and she's like, okay, this gotta go. It's very much Scorpio energy. It's with her. It's very much that, and it's like cleaning out dead baggage. Like, oh, you want your ego to be good? This gotta go. There's very much a bluntness to her. She's very empowering and very strong. But I would say, unlike Yamaya, because Yamaya is a lot more nurturing, she's just more to the point. That's the best way I can describe her. She's really to the point. Wow, this is the second time this card came out. Okay. Very, very much to the point. And then let me do, how can we best heal our sacral space this week? There's a lot of water in our blockage this week. Wow, okay. Okay. One more card for how we can best heal. Oh god, okay. Bottom of the deck is the 8 of Swords and Judgments. the Ancestor card. Interesting. So, for our blockage, we have the Four of Cups, the Nine of Cups, the King of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. So we might be feeling a little bit frustrated, not only with our ego, because we didn't get what we wanted, so our ego's a little shot right now. We're a little bit like frustrated, not only with our ego, but it could be something that we've definitely put a lot of time and work in. It could be a literal work situation, or it literally could be something that we just invested a lot of time in that we got disappointed in emotionally. And I would say also in our root chakra, it's a little bit like, so there is kind of an imbalance there. This could also be a third-party situation that you did not see coming, like, and then you just done found out because Scorpio's been exposing everybody and their mama. So Scorpio's been exposing everybody and their mama. Scorpio. So it's very much it's definitely an emotional blockage, but it's a grounded emotion. That's definitely what I see it as with this. This is a grounding emotion because this is something that you invested time in. You invested your will in. You invested your power in. This is physical movement. You invested physically in this, not just texting, not just like, you know, like something that you could do kind of like superficially or something. Like it's physical. It's a physical investment. And so on an internal level, it's kind of upended your emotional state. Like you don't feel good about yourself. You don't feel sexy. You don't feel in power either. You just feel like you didn't get what you want. And instead of seeing this, because the Four of Cups is a very half glass full, half glass empty card, instead of seeing this as a good opportunity for you to actually not only test your intuition, test your power, test your emotional states, test how strong you are, your capabilities, your ability to say no in situations. Instead of doing that, it just upended your ego, and it just threw you up. That's what happened. And so with this card in the blockage, is like, we really mad out here. We is mad. We're mad out here. And it's funny how what I was saying about Oya, because Oya, it also demands transformation. She's a very quick change, like, okay, this gotta go, this gotta leave. She guards the cemetery, and so she guides those souls to that space. And so it's like, when things gotta go, they gotta go, and there's an order for that. And so not wanting to release, but what you know has to go, even though you invested some time in it, it's the blockage for our sacral space this week. And it's also not making us feel good about ourselves. So this Scorpio moon might actually be a little bit heavy for some of you. You might actually not want it to even come around, but it is coming, so just, yeah. But it's something that you can actually use to release this week, I would say, for sure. The best way for us to heal it, we got the 10 of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords. This makes me laugh, and I'm going to tell you why. Then we have the Page of Cups and the High Priestess. I had a moment real quick. Okay, so with it's funny that this is the Moon card in here. The High Priestess is the Moon. Interesting. But with this, the 10 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords, this is like, the 5 of Swords is always like a funny card, because I feel like the 7 of Swords and the 5 of Swords always gets like looked at as like the cards of deception, the cards of like somebody lied, somebody's talking about you, somebody's trying it, you know, there's always some social stuff going on with this card. But with these two cards together, what is really telling me, especially with these two coming right after, is that we really need to embody the Scorpio energy this week. Because one of the things that Scorpio does really well really, really well is that they're able to kind of manipulate, and they're really the pros of manipulation, let me tell you. They're more than Cancers. I will go to my grave saying that, because Cancers will tell you their intention as far as like, you don't treat me right, you don't treat me like they're very open about it. Scorpios don't tell you. They'll manipulate the situation so you end up doing it their way anyway, and that's why they're the best at it. Cancers are just too blunt, and Pisces are just too nice, and like just they're just not gonna do it. But this is something that Scorpio does really well, and this is like that they really manipulate the situation to their benefit. They really manipulate their knowledge, what they know. They manipulate the feelings, the emotional parts of the situation, and they turn it into something that they can tangibly have. They could fit that tangible thing that you put all the weight in, cute, it just turned into a 10. So it's like, it gets transmuted into like, oh, you tried it and this is how you wanted to act and this is how you wanted to treat me. You know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to swap that mentality and I'm going to have the upper hands. I'm actually going to leave you in the dust. And you're going to be carrying all these swords by yourself. You're going to be literally, you just done failed the battle. It's like, okay, you won this small little battle here, but you lost a war. Basically, that's what Scorpio does really, really well, especially if you hurt them, which is why they're very investigative and they know so much about you, because, and you'll never know that much about them, because they'll literally take their time to get to know you, find your weaknesses, so if they need to use it, they will goddamn use it later. And so there's kind of a little bit of a serving karma this week with our sacral space, where we kind of feel like empowered with the knowledge we have to actually use it, especially if it's something that's physically gonna, in the physical realm, give us what we want. So manipulating the scope a little bit, I mean, I'm not gonna always sit here and be like sunshine and rainbows, bitches. Sometimes it's gonna be the truth, and if you're trying to work with Scorpio season and you find yourself frustrated out of something, and you kind of have an opportunity and you kind of already got the download and the idea in your head of how you can actually manipulate a situation for your benefit, whether it's a work situation, whether it's like you know, whether it's something that you know that you can say, or you know that if you can influence to go your way, you might actually want to do it. And honestly, this week I would say do it. Listen, Scorpios are really, really good in businesses and really good in work and stuff like that. I mean, sometimes they get a little bit too micromanaging, just a tad. I've had some of those Scorpios, but they're really good in business because they're able to control their area. They're able to control others too. Others might not even know that they're being controlled, but the Scorpio does know. And that's kind of the thing about it, is like, if you want to go about it in a way that's a little bit more gentle, so you're not leaving people actually like feeling like you came for their lives and took their souls, you can go about it in a gentle way. But you can use that knowledge for your benefit in order for you to get this 10 of Pentacles. If you want to get back to the flowing of your sacral space and for you to feel good, sometimes you have to be a little bit manipulative, especially when it deals to when others are blocking our sacral space, when others' frustrations, when it's a social situation that's blocking our sacral space. It needs to be handled a little bit more delicately, to put it nicely. I would say personally, I understand this energy very well because I do it as well. I have some very interesting plutonian placements, so I know, I'm very aware of how I do this, when I do it, when the downloads come, how I'm gonna get away with doing it. Like, I'm very, very aware with it. Like, I'm a very nice person, but I know how to get my way around certain things, because Scorpio energy teaches you how to think smarter, not like work so much hard. No, think smarter. When you're thinking smarter, the High Priestess, come on now, just like the most knowledgeable card in this deck. When you're thinking smarter, You're able to actively not only make everyone do what you want, with the way you're manipulating the situation to go exactly the way you want it, but you're also not kind of making people feel bad, like feeling like this. No, that doesn't happen. This is literally like coming back, like the whole blockage, you're not in your power. The healing aspect, come back into your power. And sometimes you have to kind of bend emotions in order to do that. In order to see that 10, you need to bend emotions. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Literally, it's all about discretion, and it's all about literally making sure you're balancing yourself out. Venus is moved that back into Libra, so make sure whatever you're doing, that duality, those scales are in a balance. Like, you're not overstepping your emotional, like overpowering your emotional kind of manipulation in there. But it's still necessary, especially if you already know, if there's a reason, if you're in a situation, if you're at work or whatever, and something happened with somebody or whatever, and the first thing that came into your head was, you know what, I wish I could handle this like this. You're gonna have to do that this week. You're gonna have to actually handle it the way you wish you could have handled it, because that download is the manipulation that you're kind of trying to like downplay yourself for, like downplay your power for, as far as, oh, you know what, maybe that's not it's a good thing. Like, there's a lot of self-shaming that happens, but Scorpio season brings you into the, why is that a bad thing? Because think about it, I've had so many Scorpio managers and Scorpio people that I worked with and stuff like that, and they're so good at what they do because they have all the self-control in the world. And so because they have all the self-control, they're able to bring their self-control to other people who lack that self-control. So then they're bringing that power to them so they can then be better. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it can seem bad when I'm sitting here and trying to sell you the idea that you need to be a little bit more manipulative this week, but it's facts. There's a reason why Scorpios are good at what they do. I'm telling you. These downloads, these ideas, you don't always have to self-shame yourself for them just because they might not seem like the love and light situation. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to be love and light. Sometimes it's like, you know what, if you could only do this differently, this whole thing would have gone way better. And sometimes you need to just make it so. It doesn't always have to be love, literally. And this doesn't have to be a negative thing either. It just doesn't. There's a lot of self-shame, self-hatred, social shame for certain things. Like, if you're not perfection, if you're not an angel, then it's a bad thing. It's ridiculously annoying. But when it comes to this, y'all need to be feeling like this. Literally, look at the girl in the picture. This is how we need to be feeling. We just need to be in our power, chilling, doing our thing, not doing the other stuff. Because it's just, it takes from our power. And Scorpios stay in power because they keep that flow going. They're able to keep the that consistency going for what they put their intentions in. They're able to really like come back around and, you know what, this is how I'm gonna handle it. You know what, this person's like this, so you know what, I'm gonna talk to this person like this instead. This person's like, you know, one of the things I always do, and this is one of my Scorpio things, is that I always ask people what their sign is. And this can be like, a lot of people just do this. A lot of people just ask, like, if you're in the spiritual community, you like astrology or whatever, people ask just to ask and just to be like, oh my god, you're that. I do it for reasons, okay? You see, I have a deeper reason why I ask what your zodiac sign is, because I want to know how I'm going to go about treating your ego. Because when you ask somebody how their sun sign is, what their sun sign is, that's how their ego is. That's how their ego would get wounded. That's how their ego would get enlarged. That's how their ego gets, like, moving through your ego is your sun sign. So anytime I ask somebody what their sign is, it's for deeper reasons than just, oh my god, I just wanted to bond and talk about the sign. No, boo. This is the tea. This is the Scorpio tea that I'm about to give you guys. I ask for reasons because I want to know how to treat you. If you're a Pisces, I already know I'm not coming at you sideways. I'm going to be very gentle because you need all the love in the world. If you're a Sag, we can be, I can talk to you a certain way and you'll be fine. Like we can go a little bit deep in conversations and we be fine. It doesn't have to be like with the Pisces. I'm not gonna be like very aggressive or anything like that. Like I have to watch my Gemini moon with a little bit with the Pisces, because I don't want to hurt their feelings in any way, shape, or form. With, for example, a Cancer, I already know that what I'm not going to do is give them something to always like remember about me and never forgive me for. My mom's a Cancer. Let me tell you how much they do this. I do not want to be in any Cancer stories talking about, I remember that time when you did that to me. No, the only one that can do that is my mama. Anytime anybody told me they're Cancer, I'm like, oh, ya yo sé, ya tú sabes, I already know. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving you a reason to put me in that list of people that you still haven't forgiven and released that trauma for. No, boo. We're gonna be cool though, because I love me some Cancers, but I'm not gonna give you a reason. Okay, so there's a very tactical way I go about my relationships with people, but also like when I approach someone a certain way, what I'm asking, there's always that filter. That Scorpio placement, listen, is a filter for me, because there's a reason why I'm asking you something. If I'm talking to you about something, I could be saying hi, I could be joking with you about something. Sometimes I am just joking. My Gemini moon is very playful as fuck, but a lot of the times if I'm saying something a certain way to you, or if I'm asking you something specific, there's a reason, there's a filter that's coming through from that. And that whole thing that I told you about how Scorpios get to know people like way more than that other person will get to know them, that I also do too. It happens naturally. I get to know people very easily, and it's something that I don't use to like then hurt someone later. However, because my Aquarius just allows me to detach, so I don't use that stinging power, I would say, as often, unless I am the queen of comebacks. I will say that if you ever get into an argument with me and you come at me sideways, I want to give the credit to my Gemini moon, but my Scorpio side, I will sting you. It will happen. But most of the time, I just try to detach and keep it moving. Like, I'm not trying to stay like in the heat of the thing. But my Mars is in Sag, so what happened was, so there's levels. This is why I love like understanding my natal chart, understanding other people's natal charts, and looking at their placements, because I'm like, oh, okay, that's how you talk. That's how you fight your Mars. That's how you fight. That's how you address this. That's how you love. This is how you speak. This is how you address your money. Because then I know, if I am aware, and there's an awareness of, okay, your ego is in Taurus, we gonna eat good together. But what we're not going to do is make the horns come out. That's what we're not going to do. I get along. My first boyfriend was a Taurus. I get along with Tauruses so well. I mean, earth signs usually get along with each other perfectly. But what we're not going to do is get the horns to come out. Because why? I just have an awareness of where your limit is. And your limit is up to where the horns will come out. So it's like having this awareness and just being socially aware is something that Scorpio does really well. And it allows me to then treat that person in a way that's genuine and authentic to me. But also that will be better for them. And also would allow us to work better together. It's not hard. And that whole thing is very manipulative, but it's not a bad thing. That is the point. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing for you to sit one out and be like, okay, you know what? Let me ask these questions that need to get asked so I can understand better. Because when you're aware of something, you have a less likely chance to mess up later in the situation. If you have awareness, there's less responsibility for you to take, because you are like, oh, I didn't know about that. That's why I made that mistake. Okay, well, you didn't know. But if you knew, then there's a choice after. So it's different. And this is the whole point. It's knowing. It's a knowing. Scorpio's about truth. It's about searching truth and how you use that truth, how you address the truth, and how you put that truth into play, how you transform from that truth. That's all Scorpio does. And so it seeks truth in many things. That's why I rule sex, because sex is like the energy bomb of that space. It's one of the most truthful areas of our bodies, and so you're able to find truth in your body, in others. in energy, in different, there's so many levels to it. That's why Scorpio rules it, because there's a depth to it. And so when you're doing things with others, and when you're trying to reach this 10 of Pentacles, just grounding this balance in your sacral space, this week is really going to call for embodying that Scorpio energy, not blocking it for whether it's your ego blocking that energy, whether you don't want to use it because you think you're not, you think you're better, or you think you, whatever it is that you think that you're doing. Like, first of all, one, look at your transits. I'm always going to say this. Look at your transits. Look at where the sun is sitting on you. Look at how Scorpio is affecting you in your chart. Look at what is activating. See why this is coming up for you. See why you need to address this, and then go about it the right way. Because whether you like to or not, this energy is here. So it would be best for us to use it the best way that we could, no? No? Yeah. I'm gonna go with yeah on that one. I'm mad that I just literally spent 20 minutes telling you guys to manipulate this week. But it's true. It's not a bad thing. Like, I honestly see it as me being more socially aware and more, I don't know why the word generous is coming to my head, but like just being aware of someone else's energy, being more caring of others, because the ego is a huge, like, it's such a gentle thing, you know. You mess up the ego and you're gonna have beef, you're gonna have problems. Like, you can literally, this is why you can hurt someone just without even knowing, and you can get on under somebody's skin without even knowing, just because you done pricked something at their ego, because you said something that you probably just said, you know, because you didn't care, you don't care. And that's the thing, it's just social awareness. You're like, okay, you know, this person's a Libra, so not only are they going to have Venus vibes on blast, but there's something mental and action and a balance to them, that it's like, if you see an imbalance on them, like, that's why they can't, Libras cannot take judgments. And this is actually something I did to a Libra once. Like, they were, they said something, my mouth, I can't. So, this one time, story time while I shuffle this. This one time I was at work and one of my friends was like, oh, this girl who's a Libra, and the friend who told me this is a Pisces. I am very protective of my friends. I get really, really irritated when you come from my friends. Like, I could either like cut you off completely or you will hear my mouth. I'm like one of those. So she was like, oh yeah, she said I look like a cancer patient with this hat on or whatever. So I was like, what? Don't you come out of Pisces that way. What are you doing? Like, I swear, there's some Libras who are really, really nice, and there's some Libras who are like the worst, because they're so judgmental sometimes. And it's almost like those that are so close to Virgo in sign, because Virgos are also very judgmental. They can be anyway. They're so judgmental. I was just like, so you want to know what I did the next time I saw her? I go up to her, and she had just gotten her nails done, right? I'm so petty. And so I'm like, oh, let me see your nails. And they were like this really, first of all, I actually didn't like the nail color, but they were like these kind of really weird, like, mix of aquamarine and like kind of blue. It was just like a turquoise weird ones. They looked like really bad mermaid nails. They were just really bad. And I just looked at them and I was like, I don't really like them. I don't think they look like you. Like, look like something you would wear. And she got so mad at me just for me saying that. Like, I wasn't even like being extra bitchy. I just said I didn't like them. Judge a Libra's exterior. And anyway, you just don't attack their Venus vibes. But she was so pissed. She was pissed at me for like at least, I want to say like 9 months. Just for me saying that. And she will bring it up randomly. She'd be like, oh, Abby doesn't like my nails. She had changed it like, I don't know, it was like 5 times already, like months passed. She's still like, yeah, but that one time that Abby said she didn't like my nails. you shouldn't come out of Pisces then. Because then I will come for you. Anyway. That's just my 2 cents. Like, I'm very protective of my friends. I don't care. I don't care. But this is a thing, though. And this is how I know it's a Scorpio. Like, I knew I was going to say that to her. And I knew what I was going to say. My reaction was going to hurt her. That is the whole point of how it gets used. Like, how that energy can get used for bad or for good. That's what it is. So, I knew it was going to bother her. And I knew her ego would get wounded by what I said. That's what I said it. We're fine now, though. The end of the story is that we're fine now. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna pick one more card. We've been talking, like, for the past 2 months. We've been fine. We've definitely been fine. But for sure, she was pissed at me for the longest time. Okay, so we have the moon. As a first card, I mean, we do have a new moon today, this week. We've talked about it already. Definitely work with the moon. Definitely work with the Scorpio vibes. This is a very kind of solo time too, so don't put yourself in the place where you're like doing a lot of people, like, I would say coven magic and stuff like that. This is not the time. This is solo internal work. Next is Jupiter. So Jupiter's fun because now that we're in November, please understand that it's about to go into Sag. So Sag is about to be lit. Okay, there's gonna be, and this is what I've been saying. I keep getting the message that, like, hey, wait till after Scorpio season, wait till after Scorpio season, wait till after, this stuff will be moving after Scorpio season, and one of the reasons will be because Jupiter will be in Sagittarius. So wait. You want to see some movement in some areas, wait. The next card is Taurus. With Taurus energy, that's still Uranus playing its hand and doing all the stuff. But it will be, if I'm not mistaken, is moving into Aries. Yeah, it's moving into Aries because Uranus is still in retrograde, if I'm not mistaken. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out how that's affecting you. This is also that Venus vibes. By the time we come back around for next week, moon is still in Libra today, switching to Scorpio tomorrow, then it's gonna be in Sag. By the time we come back, the moon's gonna be in Capricorn. But just be aware of your grounding energy, your Venus vibes, how you're reacting to stuff, especially now that Venus is back in Libra. This is kind of getting highlighted, this needing to be grounded. This is why this, if you watch the root chakra video, you'll understand what I'm saying with this. There's a lot of needing to be connected to the earth, and I think Uranus and Taurus has been doing the work on that for us for a hot minute, so especially with all of the damn earth placements in the chart. So just pay attention and be aware for that energy, and how that's coming out for you for the week. Anyway, so I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.